River Run International Film Festival got underway just last night, and the annual event recognizes leaders in the film industry. This year, filmmaker Rob Schwartzman is receiving the Emerging Masters of Cinema Award.
Well, congratulations to him. We have Robert joining us live this morning. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, guys. Nice to see you.
You too. So first off, we know that you are the lead singer of the band Rooney. How did your work in music influence your decision to pursue a film career?
Yeah, so before I started Rooney, I was a high school. I was like a junior in high school. I was 17 years old, and I wanted to perform and play shows. I grew up in LA, which has a lot of good music venues, so it's a good place to be a young band. But I was an actor before that, so I acted in some films, and it got me curious about the film industry. That was sort of how I kind of got back to it. Was I had been on the other side of the camera watching the process and more curious about creators and how to tell stories. It's a different role, but if you're directing a movie or writing a movie or packaging a movie, it's similar to music in that you're actually taking an idea all the way to creation, and actually showing people what you're making.
Yeah.
So I found that to be comfortable for me, as somebody who was making records and touring, performing, telling stories in song. I thought there would be some crossover. And, also I was making records eventually. I was at Universal Music, Interscope Records. And then I went indie. I became an indie artist, and I would record my own records when I wanted to record them. I'd put them out, on my own label. So a sort of more entrepreneurial way of doing it. And that was the sort of jumping off point of like, okay, let me take this model into filmmaking, and let me figure out a way to write and raise financing and package my own film. So that was like a very inspiring thing to cross over from taking this independent music mind into filmmaking. Because there are a lot of filmmakers out there probably watching this who want to make something and you just don't know where to start. But if you can kind of dream up ideas that are very doable, it kind of gets the ball rolling. And I got completely obsessed with making movies. So now every second I want to go shoot something.
Yeah. Robert, thank you for taking us through the evolution of that. It's funny when you have a certain skill set and it kind of changes over time, but it's all kind of interrelated somehow too. Back to your previous acting roles that you've had a little bit, Virgin Suicides, The Princess Diaries. How did this impact your approach to directing?
Well, I got to work with really great directors. Sofia Coppola directed Virgin Suicides. Gary Marshall, who did Pretty Woman, went and did Princess Diaries. When you're around people like that, you understand that you can, carry your vision through. So yeah, it was inspiring just to see how those filmmakers ran a set. And when you become anything, I guess, whatever profession you choose, I think you really want to do it in a way that is satisfying to why you got into it in the first place. But yeah, seeing these great filmmakers, how they work, the process, you start to form what works for you. And you I'm still like learning as I go in a way. Like every time I work on a movie, I learn something new. But yeah, if that answers your question.
It does.
And also, we know your film about the zombies played at last year's River Run. We were just showing some video of this year's film. You have The Good Half with Nick Jonas, is that right? So
that's right,
those are two distinct types of filmmaking, but is there something that kind of makes them similar from your point of view as a director?
Yeah, the Zombies movie, Hung Up on a Dream, which is coming out this fall, actually.
Okay.
And I'm happy it was shown at the festival. That was my first documentary, and I'm upset. I love the Zombies, like they're one of my favorite bands. So, like over the pandemic, I met Colin Blunstone and Rod Argent, and I kind of was very much just like, I've got to make this movie. Like, you guys are my heroes, and I want to tell a story that's beautiful and elegant and sort of pays tribute to the music you guys have made, which I find to be a similar way. But yeah, I haven't made a documentary, but I love documentaries. And the hook between making feature narratives into feature docs is really finding an emotional thread or an emotional hook. The Good Half is a scripted film. It's a great script, and it's a story written in taking an experience in life and then putting it on the screen. So you find some dramatic moments that really work as a feature, but they're based on, events that really happen of loss. But, for the Zombies movie and this movie, I find them to just be all connected in that they're just very emotional. Like the Zombies movie tells a story of a band over their long career. It's like a 60-year career. And, but it's a story of friendship, right? If you boil it down, that's what's really under it all. It's that these guys still care about each other enough to want to work together. And this is a story of family coming together and trying to make sense of what loss is. And loss is a very strange thing. Like I've had my own experience with grief and loss, and it's really strange. Like it's very subjective. And I mean, at Tribeca, where the movie debuted last summer, I met a lot of people stood up with a microphone and asked questions. And what they did, instead of asking questions, they actually stood up and just told stories of their own loss. Like, so they just shared stories. And I thought that was really interesting, that we created a movie that allowed this great, comfortable access to sharing experience of something similar. So that's the responsibility. I feel if you want to strip it all back, getting to make movies is such a privilege to create something. And if you're doing it independently, you're not doing it as they say, by committee. You're doing it for the reasons hopefully you want to be doing it. And I think ultimately, if I look back on the projects I've done, I would like them to mean something to people or add something to the world, to inspire us in some way.
And clearly that did in that instance too, that obviously you spoke to people in a way that really touched them personally. That was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Folks can see The Good Half screened at River Run International Film Festival. It runs through the 27th, but if you'd like to see those show times on when you can see his film, definitely want to visit riverrunfilm.com. A great cast too in his movie The Good Half. Like I mentioned, Nick Jonas, Brittany Snow. Also, we didn't have time to ask him about casting.
Oh, I know. Nick Jonas, Brittany Snow, Elizabeth Shue, David Arquette. I mean, I think about a crush on Elizabeth Shue for 40 years now. It's been like her.